What do you think about this book, Katie? Nothing? Well, I actually have some comments. This book is a lot of things. Yikes. Today I'm going to be talking about the Trollhunters book, not the series. There is a Netflix series based on this book, but today is not about that. Today is about the novel. It came out in 2015. It was co-written by Guillermo, Toro, and Kraus. Note, before I continue, this will be a spoiler review, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, please leave this video. I really wanted to like this book. I really did, because I'm actually a really big fan of the Netflix series. I thought it was very good. And this book does mimic the series a bit. The book also came first, not the other way around. This one was first in 2015. Trollhunters came out in 2016 in December. So this came first. What confused me the most is I'm not sure what age group this book was supposed to be aimed towards. It seemed like middle grade to me because that's what the Netflix series was rated. And it's written in a font that's usually traditionally used for kids' novels. Books that are supposed to be YA, this is supposed to be a YA novel. It doesn't really use custom fonts. It's supposed to be a certain font and a certain size. I'm a writer, so I know these things. And all throughout the book, it has these illustrations in it. Something that also kids' books have. However, the language in this book does seem to be geared towards an older audience, but it's not. It's very confusing. Who's this book geared towards? It's I don't know, maybe young adult boys. There's no, I don't know. It's really confusing, okay? Some other things that didn't really make sense is that, unlike the series, Jim lives with his father, not his mother. The mother in this book is the one who took off, which doesn't really make sense because if the mother hated her marriage so much she wanted to leave her husband, then why didn't she fight for Jim? The father to the mother seemed crazy. So if there was a legal battle between custody between the mom and the dad, the mom would win because she would have seemed like the sane parent and the best one for Jim to go to. Hi, Kitty. Are you gonna... crap. Also, towards the end of the book, the Claire in this novel died, but then also towards the end of the novel, she comes back to life. And apparently, both Jim and Claire has this destiny towards the trolls. Apparently, it's a family thing that they've been involved in. But, how did she survive? It's did I miss that part? Because I felt like I was blacking out, missing something all throughout this novel. It took forever to finish. I just wanted to put this book down, throw it the window, and say goodbye to it. But I kept on pushing through so I could actually finish this novel. And I so wish I didn't. That's how much I did not like this book. And I really wanted to like the book, okay? There was also a lot of info dumping throughout this novel. Claire got a whole page of just Jim describing her. It's she did nothing towards the plot. She is a plot device for Jim. She is not a character, she is an object. So my rule is, if the character is not important, just don't give them too many details because we as the readers will not care. I don't care about Claire in this novel. She is useless. She's as useless as Claire in the series was for the first half of the first season of Trollhunters. So that's how useless she was. And since a good chunk of this novel is just descriptions, I feel like it was not necessary and this book could have been half the size. For this version, the paperback copy is about 320 pages and half of that is 160. So this is actually a 160 book worth of plot. There's also no good moments between the characters. The relationships kind of stink. The names are bland at most, but pick something unique, something not common, please. I expected better from Guillermo and Toro, and I don't know who Kraus is. Maybe I'll Google him later. This book also has some gore to it. Some descriptions are kind of gross. Something that you would really see in a horror novel, but this novel is supposed to be YA and fantasy. So far, I see the fantasy part, the YA part is kind of confusing. So this book was a bit too bizarre for me. And for Guillermo del Toro, that might be normal because a lot of his stuff did kind of creep me out. And that's kind of what his vibe is. But for this novel, it did not work. It can work for his movies, but not for books. It doesn't work. There's also some equality and body shaming issues. The characters in this book go out of the way to just make us know that Toby is fat. It's sprung up all throughout the novel, making fun of his weight, and I don't stand for that. There is no reason to body shame anyone. Even in books, even if the characters are not real, there is no excuse for body shaming. That should not happen in any book, any novel, anywhere. 90% of the characters in this novel are guys. The other 10% is Arg in the series. She's a guy, and Claire. And I think there's a teacher. And they're the minority. I like it when a cast is about 50-50. It can be 40-60. I don't care which way it goes. And if it's not equal, a lot less people will read it. Girls won't read this novel because there's no girls for them to feel attached to. And Arg in this book doesn't really do anything either. She's a warrior. She fights, and then she also can have that eye thing of Gunmar's, well, she can see his location, and that's really all what she's used for. She isn't really an important character. Going back to Claire, there's also some nationality representation problems. When Jim describes her at the very beginning of this book, he thinks she's British, even though later in the novel it's proved that she's Scottish and has the accent of a Scot. Anyone who has ever met a Brit and a Scot knows the differences between those two accents. They're very different. So Jim should have known the differences between the two accents. They're very different. Kind of like how you would never confuse a French accent for a German accent. It's pretty much impossible. Also, Claire speaks in the most cringiest way possible, a way that no Scot would ever talk. And my best friend is English, so I think she knows a little bit more about Scots than Guillermo does. And I'm so grateful that he changed her ethnicity and her nationality in the series to the Mexican, because that's something he actually knows. Del Toro is Mexican, and that's what he knows. For the first third of this novel, it's just Jim trying to survive his teen life. And that's something I never really went through because I am not normal. I acted more like an adult all through my teen years. Moments between characters in this novel felt like they took forever to get through. They were dragging everything on for ever, for pages and pages and pages. That's what it felt like. So I couldn't deal with that. Overall, it was very hard not to quit this novel. I wanted to quit so badly, but something inside me told me to push through. Keep pushing until I reached the last page. And I did it, I achieved it, I finished this god-awful novel. And I hate it. The series is much better.